And some relationship failed when one is loving too much and the other is loving too little.
Pastor, how do you mean?
Students, even after the school hours, you people will not allow MRSOY to rest in his lodge.
Pastor, good evening, sir.
What is the problem today again?
From the social studies class we had today, they gave us an assignment. We were asked to find out why is it that a lot of marriages are not working and why there are divorces everywhere.
Yes, interesting topic. Most of the marriages failed simply because the both parties failed to understand the priority of each other. And some relationship failed when one is loving too much and the other is loving too little.
Pastor, how do you mean?
What I mean is, before a man and a woman embark on a marriage mission, there's a tendency that you need to know the priority of each other, the kind of woman you are going to marry, whether you people are compatible to live under the same roof.
What if a man chooses a wife because of her beauty?
When you marry a woman because of her beauty, you should be ready to spend for her beauty because he's going to be focusing more on her beauty than her duty as a wife. So there's no need to complain when your wife is always making yanga.
What if a man marry a working class wife?
Before you marry a working class wife, you should know that she's not going to have time for the family. She's going to be focusing more on her job than the duty as a wife at home. So whenever she's always at work, she's not always at home, don't complain because you know why you marry her.
What if a man marry an educated wife?
Before you marry an educated wife, you should know that she might be more civilized than you. And she might claim equal rights with you because of the level of her civilization. So there's no need to complain about your wife. You should know why you marry her.
What if a man marry an uneducated wife?
Before a man marry uneducated wife, the man should know that the woman is not educated before marry her. So whenever she's misbehaving at home, don't go and be fighting her or quarreling her because you know who she is before you marry her.
What if a man marry a God-fearing wife?
Before a man marry a God-fearing wife, you should know that she's going to be focusing more on her crusade and meetings here and there. So don't complain that she's not always at home, she's always committed with God's things.
What if a man marries the one who will have time for the children and domestic chores?
Then before you marry her to be having time for you and your family. You should not expect her to go anywhere to work, to support the family. In case some of you say, my wife is too lazy, she's not supportive, you should know that she's focusing more on her children and you, domestic chores. Yes. So there's no need to complain that your wife is not supportive.
In that case, which man or woman is the best for marriage?
The best woman is that which you know who she is before you marry her. That is all. It's as simple as that. If not, there's no way you marry and say you want to divorce your wife. That means you did not even know why you married her. Before you marry a woman, you should know who she is before you marry her. And once you know who she is and you marry her and started quarreling her, that means you are the problem in the family. And that's why you need to know who you are bringing home. By the time you know who you are bringing home, there will not be quarrel. And by the time they marry them, they'll be fighting them and they'll be divorced everywhere. Why? Because they're supposed to marry them for who they are before they marry them. Not when you marry them home and say, you don't have good character, you are not always having my time, or you are always having the... Did you not know like that before you marry them? So, in case you grow tomorrow, before you marry any man, know what the man do for a living. Know the man's priority. You should know the man's priority and the man should know your own priority. If your priority is not compatible to live under the same roof, don't go and marry such men. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Marry for attitude. Don't marry for money. Don't marry for material things. Don't marry for beauty. Marry for attitude. And when you discover the attitude you are marrying, there's no way quarrel. There will be quarrel. There will be love because you know the attitude. The attitude know you and you know what? The attitude. So you now understand, Abi?
Yes.
You go home and jot it down, all these things that I say. You have written it down a little, Abi?
Yes, sir.
So MRSOY can now go back and rest, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, come and give me 5.
Let's show love, let's show care, let's come together, make the world a better place. This is the only way that we can make it together. Choose a better ways to live your lives. Choose a better way to live our lives.